Alright guys, I just have, before I start today's lecture, I have a couple of corrections to make, okay? The first correction is, actually both of them are from example 2. It was pointed out by two different students, and so here you go. The first correction I needed to make was this one. In example 2a, when the direction says label all intercepts, one of my students said, hey, you know what? I did not label the y-intercept. We didn't have any x-intercept, but we do have a y-intercept, okay? Actually multiple. So the one in the middle is 0, 2. This one right here is 0, 1. And this one right here is going to be 0, 3. So those three intercepts got to be labeled because the direction wanted us to do so. Now, the second piece of correction that I need to make is the example 2C. So flip over. Okay, so this is a mistake right here. So this piece is perfectly fine, but what I forgot to do, or what my mistake was, when I subtracted the quantity of x plus 2 square over to the right, okay, so when I subtract it to the right, this right here should still be positive. So in your notes in the previous video, I had these as negative, but I need you guys to change this to positive. So it should still be positive on here. Okay. So if it's positive, is it going to change my answer? And actually no, because my my half circle is still going to be the same. All right. So with that said, we're going to continue with example 3 on today's video. If you don't have printed notes, do me a favor right now. Can you please just pause this, copy down the direction, okay? And so that way we can continue. In the direction, I added a little bit more, okay? Find the largest area of the triangle in the figure below. The semicircle has a radius 3 units, okay? Where P equals x comma y, so P is a point, okay, is a point anywhere on the top of the semicircle. Okay, because I just don't want you guys to put P in the bottom. You have P in the bottom, you're just going to have a straight line. You don't even have a triangle, so P's got to be on the top. Okay, so what I mean is this. Currently, this is P, and it's a set of coordinates x comma y. I just don't want you guys to think that this has to be here. So it can be anywhere. Okay, so P could be anywhere it wants to be. So our goal is to find the largest triangle that is inscribed in this semicircle with a radius of 3. Okay, so is it going to be larger, this piece? From the look of it, the closer you get to the x-axis here, or the base, the smaller the triangle is. Okay, so let's just draw. How about if we draw it out on a coordinate plane? Okay, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. So here's a semicircle of radius 3. So the easiest thing for me to do right now is to draw out this. Okay, so would you agree that this is a radius of 3? Okay, this is also a radius of 3, so the radius is from the center to anywhere on the semicircle is still 3. Even though there's a negative side, but the distance is still 3. So area equals to 1/2 your base times your height. Your base happened to be 6. Your height is currently unknown. Okay, so keep in mind the height can be here, or the height can be here, or the height can be here, right? Depending on where you put your point. So right now, the height, it's unknown. But actually, instead of h, let's give it a variable of y, because I'm going to put it on the y-axis, okay? So cross out the h and put y in there. So half of 6 is going to be 3y, okay? So right now, I know what x distance is, okay? Because if you check this out, the whole thing, okay, doesn't matter where I put my point, x is always going to be half of my diameters, or x is my radius. Okay, so since I don't know what y is, because y can be anything it wants to be, is the variable, okay, in this case. So let's try to change y into x, because I know what x is, okay? So Because it's a semicircle, it's a half circle, positive half circle, it's going to have an equation y equals square root of, it's going to have a radius, which is 3 squared, which is 9, minus x squared. And the reason x squared, because the center is at 0, 0. Okay. So because now that's what it is, I'm going to take y out and put in this piece. Okay, because that's what y equals to. So 3 times the quantity of 9 minus x squared. So if that's the case, what would be the largest area? Okay, the largest. Let's test some points really quickly. Well, if the height, okay, so if the height is going to be, what happened if x is 0? Okay. If x is 0, would you agree this value right here, when x is 0, then my height would also be 3. Okay, so when x is 0, the height is 3. So 3, so area when x is 3 times 9 minus, oops, I'm sorry, when x is 0, the height is 3. Okay, so when x is 0, this is 0, I'm going to go up 3 units. So technically my height should be 3 by counting, by mathematics, 9 minus 0 square, that's going to be square root of 9 still, 9, and square root of 9 is 3. 3 times 3 is going to be 9 units square. Okay, so when x is 0, I'm going to have a an area of 9 units squared. Now, what if when x is 1? So what if I want to move this triangle over here? Okay, so here's where I want to move it. Okay, do you think my area is larger? So when x is 1, so area when x is 1. That means I'm going to have used this same formula. Okay, that means I'm going to have 3 times 9 minus 1 is 8. Square root of 8. Let's use a calculator really quickly to see what that approximate out to be. Do I have a calculator? Alright, let's see where my calculator is. Just hold on tight. I just took it out and I don't know. Oh, here it is. It was on my printer. Okay, so if I have to approximate what square root of 8 is, square root of 8 is going to give me 2.82, okay? And then I'm just going to multiply it 2, so that's what square root of 8 is. And square root of 8, 2.82, I'm going to multiply it to 3. It's the area now is 8.49 units square, okay? So is that larger? No, that is definitely not larger. And I'm going to give, and then I'm just going to do, what happened when I move x is 2? When x is 2, then here's my new triangle, okay? So when x is 2, there's my new triangle. So is this triangle larger than the triangle when x is 0? So let's test it out. X is 2, 2 squared is 4, 9 minus 4 is 5, so what's square root of 5? Square root of 5 is 2.236, okay? Times 3. Oops, not subtract, times 3. So when x is 2, this area is now 6.71 units square. So obviously, after testing out a couple of values, we can conclude that the area is largest when x is 0. Okay, when x is 0, the height is at its tallest, so therefore that gives us the largest area. So the largest area is 9 units square. You have to write units square. So this is our final answer right here. And that concludes the end of our notes. And you know what? Since it's only 9 minutes, let's see if I can give you a joke, right? What joke do I want to give you today? You know, I kind of forget what joke I have already, you know, like told you. So how about, let's see. I don't want to do blonde jokes, so I don't want to offend anyone. I don't want to do Asian jokes. I don't want to offend anyone either. So let's do, okay, toddler jokes do this. Ready? Why did the math book look so sad? Because it has so many problems. Ha 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 ha. So there you go. That's the end of 10 minutes.